debut production from Telepath Street tempts us with a climatic world created using the Unreal Engine and promises of marrying horror and fast-paced action and an intriguing plot. Hi, this is Mario here, and today I'll be reviewing Inner Chains, the most, I would probably say, the most underrated game of 2017. As you know, Inner Chains is a first-person shooter with a good dose of horror, which was announced back in August last year, successfully funded on Kickstarter some years ago, and it recently hit the Steam greenlight. The game takes us into a distant future, to a world in which, after the humanity decides to step down, the evolution leads to symbiosis between the nature and the technologies left by a civilization. Hundreds of years have blurred between the boundaries and have rostered them. Between them and so much they were currently in its nigh possible to tell them when and what machines end and living organisms begin. With time, people once again began to settle in our rather inhospitable planet. Numerous castes exhibiting medieval levels of civilization arose, one of them most successfully employing all the nature-altered relics to the old world, dominated the other and ruled the world with an iron fist. The visuals play a big role in this game, and this does too, because this is one of the most underrated and beautiful games I've seen this year, which has been perfectly rendered in the Unreal 4 engine. This game is a mix of elements of characterizations of shooters and various solutions of typical horror games. The journey through the universe created by the artists will be an important aspect of the game. Though the explorations are very interesting, but it takes the players some time to familiarize themselves with the surreal world. Given the opportunity to learn and use the environments, show the interactions, and they will help the player understand what he is and what in his purpose is his presence here, what danger awaits him, and what laws govern the world. Staying the main path will yield us additional information about the history of the place and granting us a better understanding of the bigger picture. Inner Chains does not offer a fully open world environment, but we still get a bits of the old area. During this time, we have three types of weapons facing five types of opponents. The numbers say these are not pretty impressive, but let's not forget this is also an horror game. We don't want it to be reduced to cookie cutter scares and mindless shooting. That's what the combat will sometimes be, and shooting enemies available in just five flavors. I can assure you that there will be many surprises and secrets, but we would like for the player to discover them by themselves. Although the game features only three offensive measures, the different ways in which we can use them to it seems pretty interesting. Various armaments, including a stun gun and a flamethrower and toy resembling a classic shotgun, are something akin to be parasites and an integral part of the biomechanic setting. The game provides us with locations where we can recharge our weapons, but if we overuse them, the parasites may begin to feed on the environment but on the characters we control. The available material for striking impressions with a very suggestive atmosphere and stunning visuals for just an indie game in one hand, but on the other, animation seems rather unpolished, and the fights are lacking in dynamic and pretty. They are not. I wouldn't say that the fights are pretty intense. They are kind of a bland and boring type. The former will almost certainly improve, as one of the main reasons developer asked for community support through Kickstarter. When it comes to combat, currently the most doubtful element of the game is the AI. The AI is nothing like Doom or the other basic games that currently look like this, but the AI is pretty pretty dumb, I would say. The development of Inner Chains began more than a year ago and game is currently in its final stages. Hence, the final release is here, and but there are still a few issues which would be fixed by patches. So, given the statement, I believe that the game's release is I would say the game is released in a pretty good state, but I would have thought if the game had been released a few more days ago, it would have been better because with the new patches, new indie group would get a lot of attention and help from other community. Assuming the team will refine the animations, make the combat more interesting, and it can be seen in currently available gameplay and the review units, the game looks in pretty in good shape, and I hope this game does pretty well as well of say for sales and on Steam support. So should you buy this game? Yeah, absolutely. If you're a horror fan, then you should really go for this game because This will provide you with a sense of thrill and experience. This was with me, Rio. Hope you like this video. Do share this video and hit the subscribe button below. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.